Welcome back to my channel. It's time for another studio vlog. Oh god, the light is so bright right now. Go back behind the cloud. Welcome back to my channel. It's time for another studio vlog. This week has been crazy. It's been so busy, so much to do between finishing up Inktober, client work, knitting stuff, personal business, just like stuff I had to do this week. The weather has been wild, full moons, not getting great sleep. It's just been an emotional week and just so much stuff going on. So much to do, but here's a look at some of the things that I did this week. I hope you enjoy this video. This is it, the final 3 days of Inktober. I have them all sketched out, ready to go to be inked and painted. And yeah, I'm having mixed feelings. I'm feeling ready for it to be over and done so I can get back to digital art and onto new things, but I'm also a little sad that it's over. So I want to make these final 3 as best as they can be to finish strong. Feeling emo today, so I painted my nails. All right, here it is, everybody, the last Inktober of the year. That's it. I'm done with Inktober 2020. Woo! I finished them all. Are all 31 watercolor illustrations for Inktober. Is anybody else annoyed that 31 is not an even number? That annoys me so much. Whatever. But yeah, here they are. Side by side by side. I'm pretty proud of it. Y'all, I did it. I finished Inktober 2020. Wow. This is my 3rd year doing Inktober and finishing it, and I am so proud of myself because it's not easy. It's not an easy task, but I really enjoy it. Here they are. 31 paintings in 31 days. Wow. To be honest, I'm so glad it's over. I think I just get bored with it. I think it just gets a little repetitive. Okay, so here's my thoughts about Inktober. Inktober is what really launched me into doing full-time illustration. The first Inktober that I did, it was an experiment, and all I did was just pen drawings, and they were not great. Then you can scroll back on my Instagram to years ago and you can see my first Inktober. The practice of getting up every morning and drawing, it was really great practice for me mentally, creatively. I felt like I got better, but I just enjoyed it, and it made me feel more productive. There was just so much about that first Inktober that made me feel like I can do this. I mean, that's what I used to do as a kid. I would just draw. I would draw all the time, every day. And so that experience really awoke something within me that reminded me of my past, or my true self, my inner child, my inner self. I just started posting things on Instagram, and people responded oddly positively. So that was also really encouraging, that people were really liking what I was making, and people wanted to buy them, that they thought what I did was nice enough to pay for it and to want to own it, and have it in their homes. So that really like chipped away at this fear and insecurity in me that I wasn't good enough as an artist, and launched me into a full-time illustration pursuit as a career, because I can do it. Like I can do it. Like I'm good enough that people will pay for it. So if people will pay for these little things, then why wouldn't they pay for other things that I do? So fast forward now, here we are, 2020 Inktober. I'm like honestly impressed that I can do it and how well it goes for me, like how smooth it feels, how natural it feels to paint every day. Yeah, it just affirms my inner artist soul. So I did it, I'm done, but I'm glad it's over, because I get bored with doing the same sort of thing over and over. As good as a practice as it is, I'm ready to do other things. I want to get back into studying lighting and color and just working in digital space again, where I have a lot more freedom to explore my creativity. I'm excited to do more videos and just like, I don't know, play and experiment, and I'm always like excited about the next new thing, and so when I do one thing for a really long time, I kind of get bored in general. So I'm ready for the new things. So yay, we did it, we finished, it's over, 2020. How did you do? Did you do it? Did you do Inktober this year? How many did you do, if you did any? If you didn't, is it something you want to do? I'd love to hear more about your Inktober journey. I know it can also produce a lot of shame if you can't complete it in time, or you feel like, oh God, I committed to this thing and I didn't get half of them done. So I understand it can also produce a lot of like fear and shame and anxiety, and not be super encouraging like it has been for me. But and I feel some of that too. And this year I also kind of just did the exact same style that I did last year, as opposed to stretch and grow myself, because I knew that I didn't have the emotional capacity this year, because this year is shit. It's crazy. So I didn't want to put that huge burden on myself. So I kind of just did something that I knew that I could handle. So maybe that's cheating, maybe it's not. That's not cheating. It's fine. Next year, maybe, hopefully, if the stars align, I will expand what I do for Inktober, or stretch myself a bit. But I'm excited to do that more now in digital work. So yes, let's do it. Let's move forward. I have a bunch of cool, crazy ideas, fun things that I want to do going forward. Yeah, Inktober's done. Halloween, you're probably gonna see this after Halloween, so Halloween's done, but I wish I made a costume this year. I love Halloween because of costumes. I love dressing up and making costumes, and I didn't make anything this year, but that's okay. But that is something else that I really enjoy doing. So maybe some point on this vlog, you'll see me making costumes, because I do that kind of stuff a lot. I have a big box of costume materials and costumes I've made under my bed. Costumes, even just for like the Renaissance Festival or Comic-Con or themed parties in general. But no costumes this year, sadly. So I just got communication from my client for the Moon Pals that they want a Halloween illustration for their social media. So that's something that I have to work on right now. It's kind of a rush job, so there's only a couple days to do it. So that's part of the life of a freelance illustrator. You gotta take the jobs as they come and shift things around and be flexible and adaptable. So I have a quick deadline for a big illustration, so a lot of other things are getting pushed. But that's okay, that's fine, that's part of it. And so what they want is a Halloween image of all the 5 Moon Pal characters dressed in different Halloween costumes, maybe with like a spooky tree and moon or fire or whatever. They give me some reference images of things that give sort of the vibe that they like. I'm going to do some sketches first and then send that to them and see if it's what they're looking for before I move forward into a full rendered image. But I have to move pretty quick, so I'm gonna do some sketches right now and then go from there. And speaking of the Moon Pals, I have so much to show you about this process of doing a children's book, from sketches to color tests to concept art, all the way to the final pieces. And this is the image that we did for the cover of the book. I have so much that I'm really excited to share with you about that entire process, and a lot of artwork to show you from them. Just have to hang tight on that, but know that that is coming. Okay, and this is where we landed on the sketch. So I've got all 5 of the Moon Pals here with a spooky tree, a full moon, some pumpkins. It should work well, and they're all in different costumes. And I decided which one is going to be which color, so I got that sorted out. Now I just need to do the process of finishing this illustration. So I'm going to go and do the line work. The characters have line work, the landscaping background does not, so I'm going to go ahead and do the line work, coloring, lighting, shadows, details, texture, finish it all up by Friday so it can be ready to be posted on Saturday for Halloween. Alright, here I am, day 2 on this illustration. It's taking me way longer than I thought it was going to take. There's a lot of little detail. I still have to do a lot of the background and a lot of the final details and highlights and texturing, but it's getting close. It's getting closer to where it's supposed to be, but gosh, yeah, this is taking me a lot longer than I thought it would. One of the challenges with client work is time management, because if this was my own personal piece, I would spend a lot more time on it. So knowing when to just say this is good enough is a difficult task to try to figure out, because you want it to be good, you want it to represent you well, but you also want it to be what the client is willing to pay for and done in a timely way. So I can't have the same mentality that I would have for my own personal paintings where I'd spend 10 hours, because this is not what they're paying for, you know? So learning how to adjust my workflow and my level of quality, level of detail, what's important, what's not, like all that has to be reevaluated when working on client pieces like this. So it's interesting thing that happens in the brain to try to figure all that out. So sometimes you just have to settle for good enough rather than spend hours and hours perfecting to try to make it, you know, the greatest painting you've ever done. So I think I'm fighting myself in those two mentalities right now in this particular piece. It's difficult when I'm also enjoying what I'm doing and really liking the outcome and invested emotionally into the art, that I want it to be even better. So I want to spend more time on it. So it's really hard to sort of, manage that within myself, especially for this particular piece right now. But I think we're getting close. Okay, I finally got it to a place where I'm happy with it. I sent it off to the client for review in case they want any changes made, which I'm expecting there to be. I definitely spent way more time on this than I should have, so I will probably not charge the client as much as the time that I put into it, simply because I put the extra time in out of my own desire to make it better and have fun with it. So, but I want it to be a fair price for my client, and I don't mind sacrificing a little bit of extra time to make it awesome, because I think it turned out really well. So the client loved it. I got their feedback and they said they love it and they're ready to post it. So I just went ahead and did some final detail tweaks within the eyes and a couple other little texture details, added some little spots on the pumpkin, things like that, just to really finalize it, and did all these like details in the grass and things like that. So They liked it, they're happy with it, so I sent it off and we'll see it on Instagram tomorrow. One thing that's been on my to-do list for a really long time is to create a new illustrated headshot, and it's taken me forever to get to it. It's been like 2 years, I think, since I've even attempted it. My current headshot that I use is this from my Meet the Artist post, which I did, gosh, how long ago was that? March of 2019. So that's over a year and a half ago. And this was done on Photoshop. This was before I even had my iPad. I had to get this off my computer and send it to my iPad just to have it here to show you. So it is old and way overdue. So I need to redo this. But not all of this, just me. Just my face. I started with a sketch, as you can see, and mostly just from memory. I'm not using a reference image or anything. I mean, I look at my face enough, you think I know what it looks like, right? So I started with the sketch, which then I sent to a couple friends and said, does this look like me? And both of them said that my face was longer or taller and that my chin was a little pointier, so I had to make those adjustments. But other than that, I think it looks pretty accurate, except I feel like I look surprised or uneasy, a little too uneasy. I mean, I am generally surprised at life and uneasy, so maybe my anxiety comes through in the expression. Whatever, it's probably fine. We'll see. So I'm still trying to figure out coloring and how it's gonna look, but I wanted to kind of reflect more of my current style of art, as well as color scheme and my wardrobe. And yeah, I'm hoping this is a little more accurate, though I'm not sure what I want to do about the eyeballs. Most of my work characters don't have eyeballs, but it looks kind of spooky, which it is. I mean, we can talk about why my characters don't have like pupils at another point. But I'm deciding if I want to put pupils in on mine because it makes it a little more personal and relatable. And then I'm like, well, gosh, if I'm going to use pupils, should I just change the whole like way that I draw eyes? And so now I'm thinking about the way I draw eyes and if I want to change it and if I like it at all and why I do it in the first place and how I want them to move forward. So I may do some eye drawing experiments in the near future, so stay tuned for that. But I still need to clean it up and do some detailed work and more lighting and shadowing. It's mostly just a quick rough color right now, but yeah, I'll show you what it's like. Texturizing, details, all that stuff I still gotta do. So. Okay, it's done, or it's done enough. I could tweak this thing all day long, but it's enough for its purpose because you're only probably going to see it usually mostly like this big. So why am I spending all this time zooming in on the details? But I'm satisfied with it. I think it looks pretty good. It looks like me, it's updated, it's more my style. So now I just have to put it on everything, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Etsy. I don't know why my accent did that. Yeah, so there it is. Also, this reminds me, like, I can do this. So if you want a headshot or commission me to draw you, I can do that. And I have done that even for other clients. Here's a commission piece I did recently for someone who wanted me to draw them and their dog. I had a lot of fun with this one. The colors are pretty sweet and they wanted this for, you know, their own social media and stuff, and they sent me some reference photos and I drew this. It's something I can do and it's something I do. So if you're interested in having me do this for you, send me a message and we can talk about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. If you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button. And what else am I supposed to say? Oh yeah, comments and questions. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I would love to hear from you and connect with you more. This lighting is so bad. If you want to see more from me and more of my art, go over and connect with me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. You'll find the link in the description for all my social media and everything down there. If you want to purchase some of my Inktober paintings, you can do that. Also get that info over at Instagram. Just follow me on Instagram, it's way easier. But again, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video. But until then, stay whimsical and stay magical.